Hey everybody, JoJo here, and today we're going to be going over the proper use of extension cords. That goes over two different things, which is the gauge of the wires in the extension cord, as well as the length of said extension cord. Now, this is a video I've been meaning to do for many years now. Now I finally get to do it. Better late than never, I guess. Anyways, this can all be broken down by a picture right here. Ohm's law, which is a pipe where you see volts, the power, trying to push the amps through that pipe, but that pipe is being restricted by ohms on top. Ohms, of course, is the gauge wire. So the higher the gauge, so say, for example, 18 gauge, it's going to restrict that pipe. When you go down lower to, say, 14 gauge, it opens it up. So it allows those amps to flow through better. Anyways, hope you enjoy this video. See you real soon.
Got a smile that's brighter than a laser light, making every single misty moment feel so right. Joey JoJo, he works at Froggy's Fog. Joey JoJo, he's the most adequate salesman of them all.
Welcome and thank you for stopping back by. Okay, before we go in depth on everything, I want to first mention that we're going to be using this unit right here. This is the kilowatt device. I bought mine at Harbor Freight. They're about $30. And what it does is plug it into the wall and it will tell you what the volts are coming out of that wall. And then when you turn on your device, it will tell you how many amps it's drawing, as well as the wattage, which is real nice. I like to use these when, say for example, I've done some on-site visits to where a customer is complaining about having power issues and they're not using an extension cord. I've plugged them in and I've had people's walls read slowest 105 volts, which is not good, which shows they're having some kind of issue with the electrical. That could be a faulty breaker, some kind of issue with the wire, their outlet is old and there's not a good connection. Whole mess of problems they could be facing. It's able to figure out because of this device. The other thing I wanted to mention before we move any further is if you're anything like me, God forbid, you have a lot of devices in your house. So I've been doing this for quite some time, and in the years I've been doing it, I've gathered up devices. That's lighting, snow machines, fog machines, all over the board. And so I bring that up because as I've been doing this, a lot of the units are now going to true 1 cords, which is nice because now I just can collect one style of cord and I can use them for a lot of different devices. However, that brings up a problem that you may run into. So, for example, you might have a moving head that uses a true 1. Now that moving head is only maybe 200 watts. Okay, that's fine. We can use this cord right here. This is an 18 gauge true 1. Plug that in, you're not going to have problems. Now what happens is when you get this same 18 gauge wire or cord, and you want to plug it into a device like this, it's actually 1600 watts and 13.3 amp draw. That's not recommended for this. So I've seen people end up blowing their cords out or running their cords really hot when using the wrong cords for the units. That is why right here I have, right there was 18, then I have 16 or 12. I will in fact be using the 12 gauge for the demonstrations today. Alright, so before we start doing the test with the machine and the extension cords, I did want to mention that there's kind of a little bit of a standard you want to follow, which is the volts should never drop more than 5%, or easier way is 6 volts. If we're going off 120 volts, you don't want more than 6 volt droppage. Okay, so we're going to plug this unit in. I'm going to plug it into the 16 gauge 100 foot extension cord. Okay, so plug it in. Okay, so we're at about right under 122, 121.8. Okay, of course there's going to be no amps or watts because nothing's drawing anything off of the outlet. So let's plug this unit in. Okay, and we went all the way down to 108 volts. It's jumping between 107.8 and 108, which means we're over a 10% drop in voltage, which means we cannot use this extension cord on this with this fog machine. We go over to amps, we're drawing over 10 amps we're drawing a little bit over 1100 watts on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to shut this unit off because we don't want to hurt this unit, because running the unit at such a huge drop in voltage is going to end up cooking out this unit. Now, just because the volts are low doesn't mean it still doesn't want all those amps, which is causing the unit inside to overwork itself. That includes the pump, that includes the screen, that includes the heater. So you're going to get a whole mess of problems with running the voltage that low. As you can get away with it for a little bit. I would never recommend it, but you're going to find that this unit takes forever to heat up. You're going to find that the bursts are not as long. And in fact, you can also find that it starts not correctly atomizing the fluid properly, so you get it to start spitting more, which is not good. You'll have shorts in the screen because the screen's not working properly. It's not getting all the proper wattage to it. So you should never use this cord, this type of extension cord on a machine like this, which makes sense because that extension cord, I believe, said it was rated for 125 volts at, what did it say, 1200 watts, which this unit pulls way more than that. Amperage, it was, I believe it said 10 amps. So we were going over amps as well. This was pulling in 10.3, and that's only rated for 10 amps. So you should never use that extension cord on this. And in my opinion, that is probably right up there with killing the life of a fog machine, running the pump dry. So running the pump dry kills a lot of machines, not as much anymore because now a lot of machines have all the fluid sensors, but I'd say it's even becoming a bigger problem is running the wrong extension cord. So moving forward, we're going to unplug it from this 16 gauge cord. We're going to unplug that. We're going to now plug in our 100 foot 12 gauge extension cord. Now on paper, this extension cord should be able to handle it. It says that it was rated for 120 volts, a little over 1800 watts, 15 amp. That's everything that this machine requires. This machine does 13.3 amps, 1600 watts, so it should be able to handle it. But look what happens when we plug it in. So right now we're at 122.6. Okay, we're going to turn on this unit. Now our volts dropped under 115, which means we had a little bit over a 6% decrease in voltage, which is past the 5%, as well as I believe it's around a 7.5, 7.5 volt drop itself. So this extension cord is not able to properly handle this fog machine. This fog machine is requesting too much power, and this extension cord can't handle it. Now, what's causing that? It could be a number of things. This cord is old. It could be kinked up. So maybe one of the years and years of using this extension cord, it's been kinked, so it's not properly allowing the electricity to flow. It's a number of things. Nonetheless, this extension cord cannot handle it. Now, if I do a test run and I use it real quick for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, can I get away with using it? Sure. But should I use this extension cord if I'm going to be doing an event all day long, 4, 5, 6 hours? Absolutely not. That's when you need to either get a extension cord that is half the length, so 50 foot with its 12 gauge, get a completely new one, do another test with 100 foot. But even that they don't recommend. I believe they recommend 85 feet if you're doing 12 gauge. Then if you want to do 100 foot, you got to step it up to a 10 gauge extension cord, 10 gauge 100 foot extension cord. Okay, so what we're going to do is power this down. Okay, so the final test we're going to do is we're going to actually take and plug the 100 foot 16 gauge extension cord right into the 100 foot 12 gauge. Okay, we're going to plug this in, see what we're reading. 123.2. It's kind of fluctuating between 122 to 123. Okay, we're going to turn this on. We're going to see what we draw. Okay, so it went from that all the way down to 106.6, which means we had over a 13% drop in voltage, as well as, I'd say over like about 16 volts drop in power, which is absolutely terrible. We should not be running this unit at 106 volts. Let's actually shut it off. off before we damage the unit, which just shows that a couple things. Don't double up on extension cords, and I know a lot of people won't just take a 50-foot, put it on another 50-foot. What I mean is, don't take a 50-foot extension cord, put it onto a power strip, and then from that power strip, run another 50-foot. I have seen that time and time again. One of the best examples really got me into looking into this was I had a customer that had a unit that was not heating up, would just sit there, it's getting warm. It's a brand new unit, and it just would not heat up. It was a Chauvet unit. I believe it was a Chauvet Hurricane 1600, which one of the features the Hurricanes have on the back end is the temperature. It was getting nowhere near the temperature it needed. After the customer told me he was running a couple 100-foot 16-gauge extension cords, one from the outlet to a power strip, from the power strip, another 100-foot. I told him to go get one of these. Once he got one of these, I believe it was between 75 to 80 volts. He was getting at the end of that extension cord, which was terrible. The unit was never going to heat up properly, and he was actually just cooking that unit. Luckily, we were able to save him the time, switched it out, cut back on the extension, unit started working like it was supposed to. Another thing I did want to mention, when you're running these extension cords and even the power cables, when you're touching them, they should never be hot. If they're hot, that means they're not the proper gauge wire being used. Like I had mentioned, I've touched these before where they are hot. That's not good. This can cause an explosion in them. I've witnessed that personally. I've had a cable, it was an IEC, it wasn't the proper gauge IEC, used on a beefy fog machine. I got up to grab something, as I walked back, the cable actually exploded. Put a big mark on the ground, tripped the breaker. Very scary incident. That's what really got me into this. This happened years ago, but it was a wake-up call. The importance of using the proper gauge wires on everything. Extension cords, power cables, so on and so forth. Other than that, that's pretty much the gist of this video. Just using the proper extension cords. Don't think because you got an extension cord that can go for miles and miles, you can still use it. Always read all the spec sheets on the extension cords. That's why when you go to Home Depot, they have light duty, medium duty, heavy duty. They do that for a reason. And like I had mentioned, this extension cord technically should work for this fog machine, but it's not. But as you look at this extension cord, there's some kinks and stuff in it. It's old. I'd say this extension cord is probably 8 or 9 years old. But overall, it's always important to remember, if you can put in a fog machine or a high wattage unit closer to the outlet, you're always better. If you have to use an extension cord, make sure it is a heavy duty, not too many feet. Like I mentioned before, don't run them off power strips. Power strips are only going to pop. Even if the unit can handle it, a lot of the power strips will still pop just because they're heating up. Alright, thank you for stopping by in this video. Hope this video gave you some information, helped you learn a little bit. Show the picture again, the Ohm's law. It's the power shoving the amps through the pipe, but the pipe is being restricted because of the ohms, or that can mean the length of the cable, or the gauge that is being used for the extension cord. Usually it's the gauge being used for the extension cord, which is the big problem. Otherwise, just want to say thank you. If there's any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. Here's my information right here. Contact me. I have some more videos coming out soon. Other than that, thanks, and we'll see you in the next video.
Got a smile that's brighter than a laser light, making every single misty moment feel so right. Joey JoJo, he works at Froggy's Fog. Joey JoJo, he's the most adequate salesman of them all.